Question number 2. There are multiple projects that have been identified throughout the city, such as Charlotte Development, the Aqueduct, Midtown, Durand Eastman, Garden Aerial, Broad Street War Memorial, La Avenida, and others. Historically, these projects are developed as distinctly individual project centers and are perceived as disjointed without an underlying master plan or strategy that ties them together. What is your position on the importance of establishing a common vision for the redevelopment of the city and a long-range plan that expresses that vision, as well as the objective enforcement of development standards that ensure consistency with that vision? Alex White.
Of course it's important to have a master plan, and of course it's important to follow it. But it seems that it's more often convenient not to. Too often, following a plan seems to be nothing more than justifying projects that only make political sense. Whether it's rewarding campaign supporters, paying back donors, bringing in outside money, or looking like we're doing something, what passes for planning too often is only about politics. It seems that if we look at any project, like the East Side Police Station, we find the builders, Pike Construction, among Bob Duffy's largest campaign donors. It makes me wonder what ME Engineering, Bergman Associates, Reedman Associates, and Wilmerite would like to build that they are investing so heavily in this race. Under these circumstances, even when the overall vision is created, it's seldom followed, except when it fulfills political as well as design objectives. It would help if we could get money out of politics, but that's unlikely. Rochester needs a master plan which focuses on the whole city, which fosters growth both in population and in our economy, which makes the whole city a more livable place by decreasing costs, cutting commute times, and beautifying our neighborhoods. As mayor, I will create a plan which envisions future changes that will happen and prepares us for them by creating transportation, retail, employment opportunities to turn Rochester into a model city. Thank you.
Bill Johnson.
Well, we had such a visioning plan. It was a plan that was worked on for a number of years by thousands of citizens in this community. And it not only led to the final product that we knew as Renaissance 2010, but it was a plan that was approved by the City Council. So it officially became the vision for this community. Not something that was imposed from the top down, but something that was created from the bottom up. That plan was disrupted in 2006. Ironically, former acting mayor Thomas Richards was a part of that process, as was the former mayor Robert Duffy. So I think that we should not be engaging in the notion of plans for the sake of plans, but plans that have included the thinking of earnest, participating, and dedicated citizens of this community should be honored and respected. And we're going to resume that process. There's no magic potion here. I need to make it very, very clear. We are in tough economic times, and a lot of the ideas that come out of visioning exercises like this sometimes are viewed as grandiose and idealistic. But the process of allowing people who have invested their most precious commodity living in the city, those people should be given the opportunity to put forth as many ideas as anyone else. And we go through a consensus building process which allows us to come up with a final roadmap that we can achieve success. And that, frankly, has not been done in the last 5 years, and that's something that I intend to resume when I'm elected mayor.
Tom Richards.
I don't agree, obviously.
Where's the button? Oh, the button, Tom.
Yeah, there. I keep telling myself. Talking to myself here, I'll convince myself pretty soon. I don't agree with Bill's judgment about input. We moved here into an implementation stage from the grand planning stage, and so we have had intense neighborhood activities in a number of places. Just finished an intense plan in the Josana neighborhood. Midtown itself is a product, the Midtown project was a product of that famous Central City plan. And the input that was into it, including much input from the design center and valuable input from the design center about what an urban environment should be. And also from the neighborhood, also from the businesses, everybody who was there. So there is that kind of input. However, one of the things everybody has to realize, and we all know, is you have competing agendas. People fall in love with ideas and want to do them. And they're genuine in what they say. But they have to be somehow balanced into the financial reality of the day and the overall plan for the environment we have. You don't want to discourage people, particularly people who want to put private capital into the city, which is so desperately needed. But by the same token, you have to balance that against a reasonable outcome. Renaissance Square failed because it had no money. It didn't fail because it was a good idea. And it went through 4 planning exercises, was almost $150 million over budget, and it failed. We need to do better than that. That said, one of the things I'm committed to do, and I think we're at right now as a stage, is to back up, take all of the projects that are on the table and have been proposed, and there are a number of them, put them back into that central city plan, for instance, and see where we stand. It's the time to do that again.